Sports Talk Line Network is proud to bring you Joshua Griffith.
Nate?
Yeah, no.
Oh, we're good? We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh. So I am so very happy to welcome back to the show Vancouver Whitecaps CEO and Sporting Director, Axel Schuster.
I want to cover playoff hockey in Vancouver. I want the fans to enjoy and experience playoff hockey in Vancouver. I want the Canucks to win a Stanley Cup for this city.
Just, as I said, wild. It's not what you would expect, other than good football, which the NFL, I got to say, they're doing a heck of a job of delivering.
You can't diminish what he's done. And this isn't just to be an honorary award. I think the numbers that he's put together on both sides are warranted of an MVP.
You went right for the crest and gave it a big kiss as you were running towards the fans. And it was.
Oh, what's so funny, honestly, like, I always was laughing about players who do that because I'm like, come on, stop this shit. And it just happens out of emotion.
Here's your host, Joshua Griffith.
Hello, and yes, this is the Unnamed Sports Show here on the Sports Talk Line Network, where we talk sports 24/7, 365. I am, of course, your host, Joshua Griffith, on this Thursday, March 17th. So a happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone out there. Today on the show, we're going to be chatting Vancouver Whitecaps. And the start of the season may be a little bit slow, but I'm going to be joined by Tosaint Ricketts to chat about what he's seen from the Vancouver Whitecaps from an inside perspective on the field, in the locker room, and what he's doing off the pitch too as well. So really excited for that. Also going to ask Toss about bringing his cat down to Salt Lake City, something that I was working on last season, but unfortunately had some bad timing and I couldn't get that story finished. So, but also going to ask some of the favorite places he's played at and some of the least favorite places he's played at. So before we get to the interview, we got to get some housekeeping out of the way. So make sure to like the video down at the bottom, follow the Sports Talk Line Network on YouTube, follow me on Twitter at Joshua Griffith 0. And of course, check out all the great content on the Sports Talk Line Network. We have March Madness coming up, so there'll be tons of NCAA coverage. Matches are already going right now. Michigan won. Thank you. 1 out of 1 for my bracket so far. But as we move into the end of March, there'll be tons of sports to cover, with baseball getting back going, the NBA and the NHL getting into their playoff stretches. So make sure to check out Sports Talk Line. And without further ado, let's get right to my interview with Tosaint Ricketts. So I'm so thrilled to be joined now by Tosaint Ricketts of the Vancouver Whitecaps. Thanks so much for joining me. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Just finished a training session outside in the rain, of course, because, that's Vancouver.
That is, yes. That's on the island as well. And what I have to deal with, it's a gloomy Thursday, but happy St. Patrick's Day to you and to everyone else.
Likewise.
So a slow start to the year so far for Vancouver, but obviously a ton of potential with the roster. What do you like about this team that maybe gives you confidence in what you guys can accomplish this season?
The continuity. We lost a few players, but the core group stuck together. And over the last couple of years, we've been through a lot as a group, having to relocate, having to, leave our home and basically live somewhere else for 5 months. Those type of things bring us closer together. And, you referenced to a slow start of the season, but we're not concerned because we've been through the ringer over the last couple of years, and we've came out in good shape. So we're confident with our group and confident with the mentality.
Well, and again, obviously being in Utah and having to start your season there and playing in Portland, it's been kind of a meshing point for the team, which is nice to see. And, you're kind of a veteran and you've been around a lot of locker rooms. What do you see from this locker room? Like what makes you see this team as different?
Just the relationships. We have all honest, humble guys, guys that want to see the player next to them do well. guys that are willing to fight and go the extra inch for their teammates, and a group of very close players. Obviously when you're in a locker room with a bunch of professionals, egos and relationships aren't always great. But here, I can confidently say that everyone is a good friend, and we're a very tight-knit group.
You can see that Vanni Sartini really puts a lot of height on training, and always wants to have a different starting 20 depending on who's playing the best. Do you think that that's something that's motivated the squad and kind of helped the players push and make everybody better?
Of course. I mean, to know that your week leading up to the game matters in terms of performance, attitude, mentality, that only drives players to give everything every training session. And whether you're with the starting group or the substitution group, both groups are very important leading up to a game, because if you're in the starters, you got to perform. But if you're in that second group, you got to make game-like situations. You got to be intense. You got to push them on the training field and really create that game atmosphere throughout the week. So that's the attitude that is created from Vanni's ways, Vanni's philosophies, and, being a veteran player, being in many different environments, it works well with this group, and especially a young group.
So obviously, speaking of the team, what do you see your role as with the squad this year?
Obviously, that veteran voice, that leadership within the locker room, that during times like this, letting the guys know, like, it's a long season. I've been here before. I've been on squads. There's ups and downs, but we're still okay. We're still in great shape. And then when it comes to on the pitch, still providing value. I feel great. Body's great. Still got the speed, still got the energy, can come on in games, whether it's starting or coming in late. I feel like I still have that value to add to the team as well.
I think obviously with Brent, with the injury to Brian White, you're going to provide a lot of options for Vanni Sartini. And your first minutes, I guess it was just minutes, or a 1 minute technically last week. But how did you feel coming on? Are you excited? Are you excited to just kind of push this team a little bit forward?
Yeah, of course. Obviously an older player on the team, I still have aspirations. I still want to play. I'm still hungry to get out there and help in any way possible. So in that sense, I'm just focusing on myself and my performance, and showing Vanni that I can be valuable, late in games, or, starting a game here and there, wherever needed. But yeah, definitely happy to get on the pitch, definitely happy to get those first few minutes of the year, and definitely going to build off that.
So there's some familiar faces on the other side this weekend when the Caps take on LAFC. How are you excited for this one? Your former coach, Marc Dos Santos, Doneil Henry, Maxime Crepeau. I mean, it must build a little extra energy for the guys.
Of course. I mean, there's no shortage of motivation when you're going up against your ex-manager, your ex-player of the year, and your goalkeeper, and a good friend of mine, Doneil Henry. So, and an ex-Whitecap as well. So, there's no shortage of motivation, and that's definitely going to drive us into this weekend, and turn on that mentality and get that competitive juice flowing.
How much do you guys talk, like, between matches? Do you, send a message, or are you going out for dinner or something like that? Or is it just all game face, and we'll talk after the match when we get 3 points for the Whitecaps?
I'm not talking to them this week. we could talk to them after this week. Just very much focused on what we have to do and save the laughs and jokes for after the match.
We'll get right back into it. I'm joined here by Tosaint Ricketts on the Unnamed Sports Show. You're helping on the field with the Whitecaps and also off the field once again this year. What does your role as manager of community impact mean to you, and what are you doing right now, if there's anything in the works right now?
Well, just to put it simple, my role is to impact the community. I've been working towards this for the last year and a half. But, just through the community department, through, diversity and equity and projects and initiatives, just, imposing our club in the community in a positive way, and impacting the city of Vancouver in a positive way. But that's not only it. the Whitecaps have really opened their door and provided me with other opportunities to sit in on meetings, like in partnerships and marketing, branding, ticket sales, and really get a grasp of the whole entire organization. So it's very excited, and I'm very grateful to be, in this situation, because, not many clubs would just, provide these opportunities for their players and really give them the chance to transition in a good way outside of the game.
And you talked about the organization, and something the organization did last year for everyone was kind of uproot everyone's lives and families down to Utah. A lot of players brought their dogs, but I heard that you brought your cat down to Utah. And as a cat guy, I absolutely love this. So I meant to write an article on it, but it ended up being on some wrong, some bad timing. But what kind of cat do you have, and what made you bring your cat down to Utah with you?
My cat is literally, he has been to every single country I've played in. I bought it early when I was playing in Romania. Me and my girlfriend bought the cat. His name's Rocky. He's a Persian cat. And since then, that was like 12 years ago. So since then, Rocky has lived in Romania, Norway, Turkey, wow, Israel, Lithuania, USA. So his passport's just as stamped as mine, and obviously a great little companion.
That's absolutely fantastic. Like, yeah, when I saw everybody bringing their dogs down, and I found out that somebody brought a cat down, I was like, okay, I have to know more about this. I have to find out, because my cat, she's great. She plays fetch and all that stuff, but I don't know if I could pack her up and travel with her.
Yeah, like Rocky's really great with traveling. You put him in his little carrying case, and he doesn't make a sound from when he gets in there till he reaches a destination. Doesn't eat, doesn't drink, doesn't meow, just literally sleeps the whole entire time until we reach our destination. Whether it's 4 hours or 16 hours, he won't make a peep. You won't even know he's there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so, seasoned traveler.
Yeah, sounds like it. So obviously you've had a pretty impressive playing career. What's some of the favorite stadiums that you've ever played in?
Oh wow. First one comes to mind is Azteca.
Huh?
Playing there was intimidating. The crowd is great. In Turkey, we played at the National Stadium in Izmir. We played Besiktas there. I think there was like 80,000. So that was a great experience as well. In Israel, played in Sami Ofer Stadium. It was a brand new stadium. I actually scored the first goal ever there. And it was a huge stadium. It's gold, looks like a spaceship. So that's a memorable one as well. And honestly, BC Place, playing there against Mexico, full stadium, 60,000. That was special to see that on Canadian soil on BC Place. And obviously BMO winning the championship there, and the type of nights that we had at BMO, and just cold and the wind off the lakeshore, and the success we had through 2017. BMO is definitely a special place, special stadium in my heart as well.
Yeah, you guys had some good teams with TFC back then. Some of my fans will probably not want me to say it, but yeah, it was fun watching you guys back then.
Yeah, you gotta give credit where credit's due, right?
Absolutely, and alternately, what's kind of the worst stadiums you've ever played in?
Is that background sound from us?
No, I think that's me. That might be
okay. One of the worst stadiums. That's a tough one. I can't really call out anyone. Well, I won't say any of those stadiums, that's for sure.
So I had Florian Jungwirth on the show a couple months ago, and he's like, Starlight Stadium in Victoria. I'm like, okay.
I'll stay away from the Canadian ones. When I was in Lithuania, I played in some bad stadiums. Not so much because of the stadiums, because of the surface, like some bad turf fields. And that's usually the decider for me, the surface. And, there were some under par turf fields out in Lithuania. So careful if you play out there.
Okay, so this is one that I always ask all my soccer guests. Have you had anything ever thrown at you? And if so, what was it?
Yes, I've had rocks throwing, had, bags of piss throwing,
Okay.
early
Yeah, that's
national
it.
team days. Yeah, that's those two definitely stand out.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I
mean,
don't know if
urine,
you can get
for better
anything
words.
worse. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you can get anything worse than that. Okay, well, Toss, I got a couple more just fun ones for you. We'll get away from
No
that and
worries.
things being thrown at you. What's your favorite food? What's your game day meal?
Well, favorite food or game day meal? Because it's different.
Oh, okay, that's true. Yeah. We'll go favorite food.
Favorite food is Jamaican food. I love Jamaican food. I'm obviously Jamaican roots. My parents were both born in Jamaica.
And you guys have a Jamaican place, do you not? A Jamaican
Yes,
restaurant.
we have a Jamaican restaurant in Edmonton. We've had it for almost 20 years now. Restaurants is a big part of our family. We've had restaurants ever since I've been a little kid. The restaurant's called Irie Foods. A lot of the national team guys ate there when they were playing the game against Mexico. So very good food. And wherever I go on the road, I'm looking for Jamaican food. Me and Javane Brown, where you'll see us on our phones looking for any Jamaican restaurant we can try. So definitely my favorite food, Jamaican.
Awesome. And finally, something that you like to do in Vancouver on your day off.
I've been big into NFTs lately.
Okay.
So a lot of my spare time has been going into, researching. I'm the founder of a community called the Blue Checks, and it's all professional athletes, all athletes from, soccer background. We have some NBA players, we have NFL, we have a lot of MLS guys, and basically we're all in a Discord, learning about NFTs, learning about crypto, kind of fast forwarding into the future and getting a head start on the future there. So, it's a good community. We're investing in projects, we're supporting projects, we're big into NFTs, and it's the Blue Checks. So that's been a lot of my spare time.
So what if people are looking to find out more about that, they can check out the Blue Checks or?
Yep, the Blue Checks on Instagram and on Twitter, and you can see our members there. We have a lot of MLS guys. And, at bare minimum, we're just a community of guys working together, supporting each other, whether it's NFTs or supporting each other, our successes in our games, but, definitely a good and organic group. But also my master's starts in a week, so that's going to start taking up a lot of my spare time. I start my MBA program, and I think it's about a year in some. So looking to dive into my MBA and finish that and be done with school forever.
Well, congrats to that. Holy, I mean, you are just everywhere right now, on, off the field, on the computer, at school. Like what? Come on, Toss. I mean, I thought you were supposed to be a veteran. You're supposed to be like relaxing and
Come on. There's no time to relax.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining me today and chatting some Whitecaps and obviously a little bit of everything else. So best of luck this season. Exciting to see what the Whitecaps can do on the field, and excited to see what you can do on and off the pitch.
Thank you very much. I had a good time.
Cheers. All right. Thank you so much to Tosaint Ricketts for joining me on the Unnamed Sports Show. The Vancouver Whitecaps will take on LAFC Sunday evening at 7 p.m. We've got a late night game for the first time this year. It will be a match against a couple former foes with Doneil Henry, Maxime Crepeau, and assistant head coach Marc Dos Santos. But the Whitecaps are going to be in tough on Sunday, so we will see what happens from that match. It was great talking with Tosaint Ricketts, getting to know what he's doing more with his role as manager of community impact. So that was great. And then also just getting caught up with how the squad's doing and what kind of their expectations are this year. So really look forward to the match on Sunday. I'm a little bit nervous for the Whitecaps, but Toss, he eased my nerves a bit with what he said, talking to him today. So This has been the Unnamed Sports Show on the Sports Talk Line Network, where we talk sports 24/7, 365. I've, of course, been your host, Joshua Griffith, and make sure to tune in next time and all the great coverage on the Sports Talk Line Network. Remember to love sports, all sports.